It's getting close to 10 a.m. and this is the north end of Mount Mansfield up to about the 2,500 to 3,000 foot level. As you can see, the main mass of the mountain is in clouds. I'm hoping 2 hours from now when I get to the top that I'll have a view, but we'll see. This is Smuggler's Notch. The road is not open during the winter, so it's a special place in the summer. A lot of visitors, a lot of traffic. The Hell Brook Trail basically goes up the mountainside beyond where the cliffs end on the east. We'll be there in a couple of minutes. The tops of the cliffs here are easily 1,000 feet above us. The road through the top of the notch has no line in the center. There are a couple places where it goes between rocks and it's really only one lane wide, so kind of whoever gets there first gets it. Down below it'll have a line in the center. Starting up the Hell Brook Trail, August 3rd, 2011. There isn't really a trail sign right here, but this is what you see, blue blazes and a signboard. We'll go up and sign in. Well, here's the official sign. Red is the road. The arrow is where we are. Gonna go straight up the mountainside. May go over the Adam's Apple or just bypass it right up to the Chin, which is the highest point. And then planning on taking something called the Story Trail, which is, I'll go down the Sunset Ridge Trail and then head back north and bypass a descent of the Chin on the north. There's a cliff that I'll show you there. The trail goes pretty much straight up the hillside, following this brook, the Hell Brook, which descends at an equally rapid rate. And if you can imagine in the springtime with snowmelt, water rushing over these rocks to a depth of 4 or 5 feet. You get an idea of why they call it Hell Brook. Okay, enough geography, time to start hiking. These are still not blueberries, and the red ones aren't cherries or anything else that you want to eat. So just admire them, they're kind of pretty, don't eat. Now here's a spot where I got turned around the first time I came up here. You're looking for trail markers on the ground, and you see in fact that there's one up here on the rock, which is telling you to turn to the right. And go right up through there. Well, I'll show you where I went in just a minute. Far end of this massive rock is a little place where you can go under it. And if you look closely, you actually see a dirt path continue beyond it. So I said, oh, they made an interesting place in the trail. I'm just going to go right through there. Now this matched my idea that the trail followed the stream pretty closely. It's right next to it here. And of course at this point there are no more blue trail markers, but there's clearly a path that people have followed. Well, you can continue following that and go up under the edge of the ledge, and you're kind of right next to the stream. And then you get to a cascade. You can kind of climb partway up the side and then you run out of holds. So that's what I did. Just my recommendation, don't do it. A little bit on the dangerous side and not the trail. Here's another large rock. This time you don't go around to the right. You go up around to the left. I told her that I'm glad you didn't take the trail to the left of the lower rock down there. I never saw the arrow, so I went up that way for a couple hundred yards, and I started going up the side of a waterfall, and it was dry, but I ran out of holes, and I said, some people with dogs went up here before me. How in the world did anybody get up this? Right. I backtracked and realized that I'd taken
my first time
on the trail.
6 years ago was my first time up this. Actually, I used to ski up here. We used to ski down this all the time.
Whoa.
But this is my first time up, and I did the same exact thing you did.
You did?
The same exact spot.
And you kind of go along the edge of the cliff, past, I mean, if you ever fell off that, you're done, you know.
Yeah. That's absolutely the same exact situation. So.
You should go up the cliff.
Okay. No. We're going to go up the cliff right now.
Didn't you hear me say you run out of holes?
Exactly.
I mean, do you want to kind of crawl up and pull yourself on your chest and your belly and everything?
No. She probably does.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Here are the upper reaches of A Brook. I think we've already crossed the Hell Brook, so it's probably a different one. Nothing flowing right now, but in the springtime, probably quite a bit. Now you get to a little elementary rock climbing here. Just did kind of a side ledge traverse down there, making sure I had good holds. Now we go up through here, find some good holds through here, because slipping's not an option. I was just reminded of why this trail is rated with such difficulty. I basically made my way up that ledge by finding good holds and holding on to the trees and roots on the outside. Definitely not something for amateurs. This section continues to be challenging. Going up through this section, there are quite a few roots and things to hold on to, but it is very steep, so you still want to be careful. Here's a place where you want to mostly avoid the wet spots and just kind of work your way right up through the crack in the center here. There'll be a lot of holds on the way up. It's not super steep. You probably wouldn't even slide. You might get burned or bruised a little bit if you slip, but it's not bad. Here's the Hell Brook Cutoff. Comes over from the long trail. Presumably either if you've had enough of this trail or if you want to come back down part of the long trail and then to the Hell Brook trail that I'm on. Here's a little side hill traverse, side ledge. You want to work your way up along the next to that crack. It's a bit flatter. Hold on. Go on up through. There really don't seem to be any better ways down lower, and as you see, the ledge goes on for a ways. Here's a really nice panorama from this point on the trail and a few hundred yards above the Hell Brook Cutoff, looking over towards Spruce Peak, toward the Sterling Range, Smuggler's Notch ski area. Trail's gotten not too difficult. I mean, I'm still gaining altitude, but mostly rocks and gravel now. Not too many more ledges. Just a little more up the ledges here. But I can see daylight, and that's always a good sign. Very near the 4,000 foot mark on the mountain, and the cone will go up another 400 feet. I wouldn't hesitate to take water out of this stream. Probably treat it though. Actually, that wasn't quite the end of the trail. It's another 2/10 of a mile over to the long trail. Some important reminders here: don't walk on the Arctic plants up on on the cone of the mountain, on the chin. And we'll head over to the long trail and up the chin from the north end. As you see, the clouds are rolling over the top. And rain is expected in a few hours from now, but on the top of the mountain the weather could be a little different, so we'll go up a little ways and see what's going on. Here's Stowe and the Worcester Range, Mount Hunger in the distance. Stowe ski area. Panning around to Mount Mansfield. All you can see from here is the chin. The rest of the mountain stretches a couple miles southward. Here's the chin. Go up and around these ledges. These folks have already gotten that far. And pretty much straight up to the top. About halfway up the chin here. Clouds are starting to roll over the top a little bit more again. Absolutely beautiful. Here's a view to the north. Clouds rolling over. Here's the Adam's Apple. Popular sub-peak to go to when the top is really crowded. I'm on the long trail. I'm on the north face of the chin of Mount Mansfield. And this is a place where people are understandably a little squeamish. They don't like heights. You gotta work your way up this rock ledge. If you were to make a mistake, you could go tumbling down off that. I'm gonna go over to the edge actually and see what it looks like down there because I've never looked. Yeah, basically one ledge after another and then a sheer drop, so not a good place, especially if it's icy. So the trick to coming up through there, always make sure you have 3 good contact points. And there are a lot of good holds, you just have to be patient and find the good ones, and again, don't do it when it's wet or icy. Now there's Lake of the Clouds again. Kind of saw it end on. It looks a little bigger from up here actually. The Adam's Apple, no one over there right now. Here's a panorama from the chin, looking south towards the nose. Panning around to west, sometimes called the West Chin. Some folks down here on the Sunset Ridge Trail. Looking out of the Champlain Valley. Get some kind of cool close-ups of the clouds up here. Again, it's supposed to rain later on this afternoon, but right now we're just fine. See a lot of blue sky in between this beautiful mountain weather. Don't look now, but you have a dragonfly on your shoulder. A very peaceful dragonfly. It's just looking for a place to chill for a little while. Huh. What do you mean, where do you get that? Doesn't everybody have a pet dragonfly?
No.
You're right.
Maybe. Eventually in 100 years.
That's cool. It just came and landed on your hand?
No, someone else had it.
Does it?
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Right?
No.
If you blow, it'll fly.
If you can see a little closer, it's cool.
Oh yeah, I've done a real close-up of him. They're beautiful.
Are the wings like, are those like holes in them? Or is that like?
I think it's just the design of the wings, so they're more stable. And they do chase after and catch bugs, so they have to be pretty strong.